this Springboard webinar. It is our absolute pleasure to have you here this afternoon and to join us as we enjoy lunch together. We are very deliberate about setting this webinar at lunchtime so that you derive value out of your lunch hour. As you feed your body, you also feed your mind and feed your soul. And so we promise you a very, very exciting session where you will be well fed. And please feel free to tell us after the session whether you are well fed or otherwise. But a 7-course meal is laid out for you. So this is brought to you courtesy of Springboard Capital. We are your financial partner, financial advisors, and we are your lending hand to lend you so that you can empower and power your dreams. And part of our powering up your dreams is to enable to empower you with capacity building and knowledge to run your business better and be able to take your business to the next level so we can build this country together. And what Kenya does, Africa follows. So we are building this continent one webinar at a time, one advisory program at a time, one great speaker at a time. And so this afternoon, we are very privileged to be discussing a topic that's very dear to us. In our previous webinars, we've talked about COVID in general and the impact that it has on entrepreneurs and businesses. We've talked about COVID and finance and how to run our finances personally, professionally, and at a business level within this COVID season. Last webinar, we talked about COVID and people, the impact and what we can do differently for our teams to ensure that the people that drive our businesses, because our business is not a business without the people that drive the business, what we can do to enhance that and to optimize. And that was our last webinar, which you really gave us great feedback about. And so it is now time for us to talk about our customers. What a delightful topic. There are no businesses without any customers. So we must congregate and talk about customers and customer experience. And so our speaker today comes from the Institute of Customer Experience. She's the lead strategist at the Institute of Customer Experience. What a mouthful, allow me to say ICX. She's the lead strategist at ICX, running programs, ensuring that ICX works the way it should work, getting together standards and setting policies and ensuring that this country does what it's supposed to do with regards to customer experience. And she'll tell you just a little bit more about ICX and how it's moving and shaking things in this nation and by extension in this region. So we are talking about customer experience and how to grow our businesses. And at this time, when businesses need to be rebuilt, need to be regrown, need to consolidate themselves, need to take stock and see what are we doing well and what we need to do better, this is the right time. Everything is about timing. And this is the right time for us to talk about customer experience and have tips on how to grow our business. So without further ado, allow me to introduce you to Purity Mipika. Totally passionate about the customer. You know, in business, we say, oh, put your customer at the heart of your business, put the customer at the center of focus. Oh, she's the epitomization of that, putting customers in their rightful places. Purity has a wealth of experience with regards to customer experience, excellence strategy, management, training, capacity building. I could go on and on. If I was to read her CV, I'd need a scroll. You know, like the way in the days of old, there was a long scroll and people would read and read and read. So let me spare you all of that and not take any more of your time. Let us listen to Purity. Welcome, Purity Mipika. This is the Springboard family. It consists of family as well as extended family of entrepreneurs and other business people whom we are affiliated with. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Carol. Good afternoon to you all. Carol, you have painted me in such colorful language. Thank you so much. I hope to embody all these things today and even in the days to come, because customer experience excellence is so critical and it's even more critical today. As Carol has shared, I'm excited to be here and to share with you some tips on how you can grow your business and how customer experience can be that accelerator to help you grow your business. My name is Purity, but my name is also customer. When I earn my salary at the end of the month, there are several things that I do with that money. The first is that I pay my rent. Second, I pay my utilities, electricity, water, the normal things that we all pay. When I have a little extra money after I've bought my food for the month, I like to go to the mall and look at nice things, shoes, clothes, artifacts. And when I have this extra money, sometimes I'll buy. Sometimes when I'm not at the mall, ladies and gentlemen, I like to be on my phone, and I'll either be on Instagram or I'll be on Twitter, and I see advertisements about great things that I can buy right here in the Kenyan market. When I have that extra shilling, sometimes I'll make a spontaneous buy and say, today I'm going to spoil myself. When I'm not a customer, when I'm not Purity, I am also a customer experience professional. I serve customers every day, and I've been doing that since I left the university. You are a business owner or an entrepreneur, or you're employed somewhere. You're all these things, but you're also a customer. The same way I am not one thing, you are neither one thing yourself. And this is great news if you ask me, because if you're a customer somewhere, you have the unique ability to step into your own customer's shoes and really experience how it is for them when they do business with you. If you're able to do this, and of course you can because you're a customer somewhere, then you are able to affect the growth of your business and how it can remain competitive and sustainable. This afternoon, I'm excited to share with you some tips on how you can grow your business. And I'd like to propose to you that service excellence is that accelerator that will allow your business to not only be sustainable, especially this year with COVID-19 at play, but will allow you to be sustainable and competitive beyond this year and right into the future. But before I get into the tips I want to share today, let's start with the problems on our minds. Every entrepreneur, yourself, myself, have faced and asked themselves one of these questions before. How do I get more people to know about my business? And that's a question of awareness. How do I get more customers? How do I convince them to buy from me and to buy more of what I have? That's a question of customer acquisition and sales. When you're not grappling with either of these two questions, you're asking yourself, but how do I make more money? Yes, I'm making some, but how can I make more? How can I expand? If I have one shop, how can I have 2, 3, 4? Question of expansion. If you're not asking yourself any of these 3 questions, ladies and gentlemen, you're probably asking yourself, how will I survive? With all the competition in the market, how will I survive? How will I remain for years to come? How will people remember my brand name? How will they remember my own name? It's a question of sustainability. If you're not grappling with either of these questions, COVID-19 and this year have brought with it even more challenges. Our economy has been gradually reducing in the last 5 years, and COVID-19 has accelerated that decrease even more. You can see on this graph that was sourced from the World Bank that we have moved gradually from 5.7%, and as of 2020, we're looking at 1% and dropping. What does that mean for your business and for your customers, ladies and gentlemen? It means that we have less money in our pockets to spend. It means that we are more critical where we put our money. If that's not the case, according to Ajua, a research company that deals specifically with customer feedback, COVID-19 has meant that we are spending less, as much as 21% less, and now we are only focusing on essential goods. That means food, that means transport, utilities. These are the realities on the ground. These are the challenges we face as entrepreneurs. I'd like to assure you, I'd like to encourage you, with these words from Mother Teresa. She says, do not worry about why problems exist in the world. Just respond to people's needs. I'd like to put across to you that if you focus, even in the midst of all these problems, as entrepreneurs, but also because of COVID-19, if you focus on meeting your customers' needs, money will always flow in the direction of value. That means if you're focused on understanding what your customer requires, they are more likely to spend money in your business. Let's look at what service excellence looks like. When we talk about listening to your customer, when we talk about serving your customer, even in the midst of problems, let's look at what that really means. The topic today is service excellence and how you can grow your business with it. Service excellence is largely also known as customer experience. And what it means is that it is the sum total of everything you do as a business to anticipate, to meet, and to exceed your customers' expectations. What that means, ladies and gentlemen, is that if you want to stay in step with your customer, you need to think about what would they want from you, what value can you offer them, even in these troubled times, that will cause them to spend their money, even in an economy that has shrunk significantly, to not only think about what they want, but for you to put in the effort, for me to put in the effort to meet that need, and finally, to not just be comfortable with what is expected, but to ask ourselves, how do we exceed our customers' expectations? How do we delight them beyond what is expected? This is what I mean. If I walk into a supermarket and I'm looking for milk, and for some reason, I can't seem to find where it is, to be able to go to the aisle that the milk exists is meeting my expectation. But if a shopping attendant was to come to me, seeing that I'm struggling to find the milk, and literally walks me to where the milk is so that I don't struggle to find it, that is exceeding my expectations. I really expect that you will help me, but for you to take the trouble to walk right to where the milk is going up and above what is expected. And I put across to you today that customer experience, meeting, anticipating, and exceeding our customers' expectations is the key ingredient that allows us to not only stabilize our businesses, but to find a way to accelerate it to grow. If you take customer experience by its name and actually do something about it, you are likely to get numerous benefits. It is true that people do not like to be sold, but everybody likes to buy. And what this means is, if you give me not only a good product that is valuable with the right price that I can afford, if you go beyond that and make me feel special as a customer, if you make your customer feel special and important, put them at the heart of what you do, they are more likely to buy from you. It's true that we don't always have the money to spend. We may see a good product or service, but we may not have the money to pay. But this only means that we are potential customers. It means that when we finally have the money, when we come across some money to spend, you will be top of mind and we will want to spend money in your business. So let's look at what the benefits are if you take customer experience seriously. If you truly take the time to walk in your customers' shoes and meet and exceed their expectations. The first is that you will retain your existing customers. My expectation is that if you have a business, you have at least 2, 10, 50 customers that are already coming to your business on a regular basis. If you put your customer at the center, if you treat them as important, not only to give them a good product and a good price, but as they walk into your shop, as you call them and talk to them on phone, if you can make them feel that they are the most important element in your business, that they are not a distraction when they call you, but they are the very reason that you're in business, they will want to stay in your business. You will agree with me that if anyone makes you feel important, you want to hang around that person. You want to be in their space because that makes you feel fantastic. And that's what customer experience does. The other advantage of customer experience and really delighting your customer is that they will get out into the market and share with everyone they know about a good experience. Take a moment now and just think about a time when you had a great experience. I'm not talking about the usual experience. I'm talking about a time when a business or a person who works in that business took the time to make you feel special. Wouldn't you want to share that experience with everyone you know? If you are out and you came back home in the evening, wouldn't you want to share with your husband, your wife, your mom, your father about what you experienced? Your customers are exactly the same. And if you treat them as important, they will most definitely share that experience with others. And so what that means is that you will retain your customers, but you will also attract new ones. The other advantage is that you're going to save on cost. If you make your customer feel important, and that's what service excellence really is, if you delight your customer, you will save real money. Did you know that if you have your customers share with others how good your business is, that is going to save you as much as 60 to 70% of how much you would have spent if you had advertised your business. That means if you spend money to advertise how good your business is, you will spend so much more than if your existing customers went out and shared with others how good your business is. Another way that you're going to save on money is that you will, the customers who leave your business, it costs a lot more to bring them back than it does to just retain them. Every effort that you take to have your existing customers stay with you will be significantly less than the amount of time and effort you will take to go out and seek out a new customer or even a customer who's left your business. The effort it will take for you to have them come back into your business will be significantly more. The other advantage, of course, is increased sales. If your customer is happy in your business and you come back to them and say you have another product that you'd like to sell to them, if your customer is happy and you ask them to spend more on your products, they are more likely to say yes. If they feel important, if they have been delighted in the past, if I know that you have a great track record with me, I am more likely to say yes to continued business with you. But then another good advantage you will gain with customer experience is that you will remain sustainable and competitive. If I am happy with your business, even if a competitor comes to peddle their products and services to me, I'm more likely to remain loyal to you because you have been loyal to me and you've treated me very, very well. But what that also means is that your business remains sustainable. It means your customers commit every day to staying in your business because of how they feel when they are around your business. But finally, and not just finally because there are only 5 advantages, there are a myriad of reasons and benefits why customer experience is great. But these are the 5 that I've chosen to share with you today. You will insulate yourself from a tough business season. If you have generated customer goodwill, your customers are likely to support you when times are hard. Let's take a moment to look at some 3 tips that I have prepared for you that I feel like very specifically, when we talk about customer experience, specific things that you can try today or even next week and going forward that can have a direct impact on your business, specifically on its growth and on its sustainability. The first one is customer convenience. Now, customer convenience means saving your customer time and effort. It means simply being easy to do business with. Make it easy for your customers to access your business, to access your products, to access the services within it. I remember earlier this year hearing that Jumia, the online shopping platform, decided to partner with local farmers to bring vegetables and other market produce directly to my house and directly to other customers' houses. If they had not done this, it probably means that I would have to go to the market to buy my produce. But for them to partner with local farmers means I can get my produce fresh and easy right at my doorstep. That's an example of convenience. It means not only giving your customers products and services at a good price with good value, it means going a step further and saying, how do I make it really easy for my customers to access my service? Another good example of convenience is what we see at the supermarkets every day. You shop 5 products, 10 products or less, you're given a special deal to go and be served, as opposed to staying behind or waiting in line behind a customer who has lots of products to be served. That's an example of convenience, and we see it every day playing out for our convenience. Convenience means home delivery. It means if your customer doesn't need to come to your physical store to get their products, if you can deliver it to their convenient place, that's convenient service. If you can avoid telling your customer to come back later to access your services, that is convenient service. If I've come into your shop, if you come into my shop and the person you have come to see is not available, it is more convenient to find a way to assist that customer in that present moment, walking in their shoes and realizing that they have spent time and effort coming to your physical store. So the idea of telling them to go and come back is completely inconvenient. Convenience means saving your customer time and effort. And your customers will reward you with loyalty and goodwill that goes directly into supporting your business sustainability and stability. Let's look at another really, really good tip when we talk about service excellence. And that is practicing empathy. There's no greater time than this year that we can begin to practice empathy more deliberately. Many of us have lost jobs. Those who haven't lost jobs have an increased share of wallet. They have less money to spend. They have all of the same expenses that they had before. There's no greater time than now to practice empathy. What empathy simply means is choosing to wear your customers' shoes, literally imagining what their experience is on a day-to-day basis, and specifically how their experience is with you. If a customer is coming to my business practice, I want to imagine that they've taken time either getting onto a matatu or driving and spending their fuel. They've probably been in traffic. The reason why they're coming to me is because they want my product or service. They're probably in a hurry. If it is an essential product, it is probably something that they're going to use directly after they purchase it. To be able to imagine the entire experience of your customer is so meaningful, because it allows you first and foremost to relate with where they're coming from. But secondly, you're able to truly listen to their needs. And if you can truly understand where they're coming from, if you can understand their needs, then you're better able to serve the customer. If you're able to serve the customer in the best possible way, they can only reward you with their loyalty, with their coins. And that is exactly what you need for business sustainability and growth. I remember earlier this year when COVID hit and organizations, particularly banks, began to let their customers know that they would be giving them a loan holiday. And that means for me who has a loan with the bank, paying 10,000, 15,000 each month, them telling me that I don't have to pay for 6 months because of this season is a great example of empathy. That they have imagined how difficult this time has been and have decided to give me time to be able to recover before I can get back to paying my loan. It's an example of empathy when Safaricom, for example, says that we can use our bonga points to access essential goods, that we can be able to sambaza our bonga points to our loved ones, that they can access essential goods. And the question here is, how can you be empathetic with your customer? Consider, for example, as opposed to calling your customer constantly just to make a sales pitch or even remind them of a debt they owe you, dedicate some time to reach out to your customer to just check on them. Just find out how they're doing. If they have other businesses, if they're employed, check on them and find out how they are. To be able to dedicate time to do this will build the kind of goodwill you need with your customers so that even when times are hard, your customer still wants to remain with you, still wants to do business with you. Here's the third tip. Feedback. Listen to your customer. Stay in constant communication with them. The only way that I can imagine that we can sustain ourselves in business is if we can stay in constant communication with the very people who are the lifeline of our businesses. Feedback means deliberately asking your customer how their experience with you has been. You can choose to do this on a daily basis. I know that with Java, for example, when I go to eat there and I pay for my food, they are sending me constantly a message asking how my experience was. This constant collection of feedback, but not just collecting, but really listening to what your customer is saying, allows you to understand not only how their experience is, but how can you make your business a lot more pleasant and valuable to them. Collect feedback from your customer, but not only collect it, but do something with it. Here's what I think. Your customers will give you lots of feedback if you ask for it. Research shows that most customers remember bad experiences more than good experiences. And so it is likely that as you collect feedback, your customers will give you a lot more of bad feedback, or rather bad experiences. But this feedback is important. And if you're able to particularly ask yourself, what is the root cause of this complaint? What is the root cause of the bad experience? Then you're able then to affect the customer's experience by dealing directly with the root cause, not only the surface level problems, but really where is the problem coming from. If you're able to pick a root problem that is affecting many customers, then you're able to really impact a lot of your customers directly by solving the problem. Not only should you solve the problem, but it is important that you close the loop. Close the feedback loop by getting back to the customer and letting them know how you used their feedback. It is true that in our market today, we have what is called feedback fatigue, where you're constantly being asked for feedback by different organizations, but you have no clue what these organizations are doing with your feedback. Sometimes it feels like it's a form filling exercise or just something you do because it's a good thing to do. But if you choose to be different today and going forward, collect your customers' feedback, do something about it, and then get back to them. Excitedly let them know how valuable their feedback was and exactly what you have done with the feedback to really improve their experience. If you collect your customers' feedback, you are more likely to keep in step with your customer who is constantly evolving. You are able to find new ideas that you can incorporate into the customer's experience. You can expand your product lines. Perhaps your customer has found a new way to use your product and you can market that to more people. Sometimes your customer may give you a compliment, may tell you something great that you do. It is such a tragedy, ladies and gentlemen, that we can be excelling in our businesses, but we have no idea what it is that we do to excel. Getting this feedback from our customer allows us to know why we are doing so well according to our customers, and we're able to speak about this compliment. We're able to entrench it into our business practice so that more people are able to enjoy these great services that we offer. When all is said and done, customer experience, service excellence, treating our customers as important is so critical because of this one truth. People want to do business with people they like. People want to do business with people they like. It isn't just enough in this business environment for us to have a great product. Everyone's doing that now. It's not enough for us to give discounts and free samples and reduce our prices. So many of our competitors are doing that today. The true differentiator today, with so many people competing for the same business ideas, is to be likable. If your customers like you, if they enjoy being around you and doing business with you, they will reward you with their shillings. If people like you, they're going to want to do business with you. And if they don't know, and if they don't like you or the business that you have, then you're going to have an almost insurmountable obstacle to overcome. Insulate yourself today and going forward with customer experience, because it is the true differentiator in our marketplace today. Allow me to finish my talk by letting you know a little about the Institute of Customer Experience, or what we very lovingly like to recall to it as ICX Kenya. So the Institute is the professional body that umbrellas or represents all customer experience professionals in Kenya. Anyone who is in business, anyone who serves a customer is a customer experience professional. I am a customer experience professional, and I bet that all of you here listening to me today are customer experience professionals as well. What we do at the Institute for our members is that we make sure that they have best practice ideas, examples, and ways. So when we talk about customer experience and how we can delight our customers, the question is, how do we really go about that? How are our customers changing on a day-to-day basis? What is happening in other countries, outside in first world countries even, for example, and how will they come to affect us here in Kenya? This is the information that we put together for our customers. This is the information that we put together for our members. And this is what we then call thought leadership. So we do a lot of research. We do a lot of collecting of information, bringing thought leaders together so that our members can have constantly the right information on how to serve their customers. But beyond that, we develop our members, making sure that they have everything they need to serve their customers. But finally, what gets rewarded gets repeated. And that means we reward and recognize those of us who are constantly every day choosing to serve their customers and really raising the level of service in this country. If you're a customer experience professional, you belong with ICX Kenya 100%. And I welcome you to join us today and in the days to come so that we can together talk about our experiences, learn from one another, and really improve the level of service in this country. These are my contacts, and I'm happy to chat with anyone who wants to, and I'm sure all of you will want to talk to me after this so that we can discuss in more detail. How do we make a difference in our customers' lives? How do we delight them? I'd like to end this presentation by engaging with you a little bit. Imagine today that you are a customer, and you are a customer, but for our engagement today, let's say that the customer is either Jill or Jack. All the ladies in this meeting today are the Jills, and all the men in the meeting today are Jacks. And this is what I want us to do. I want us to actually practice being empathetic, really wearing our customers' shoes. And this is what I will do. Because I'm a lady and my name is Jill, I'm going to start by saying what it is I enjoy as a customer and what really frustrates me as a customer. Here's an example. My name is Jill, and it really excites me when I call my business or when I call the organization where I get my business and they actually know my name. It makes me feel really important. But you know what frustrates me as a customer? Is when I call my business or when I call the organization where I get my business and I'm put on hold for minutes before I can be served. I particularly hate it when they say all the operators are busy with other customers, because I wonder, what about me? Am I not an important customer? And what I'll do is I'll call out any one of you in the meeting today. I'm going to invite you to have your camera on and unmute yourself and tell us, as a customer, whether you're a Jill or a Jack, what really frustrates you as a customer and what makes you really happy. All right, let's start with, I see Angela Amach. Angela Amach, are you there? All right, as Angela Amach is getting ready, maybe we can go to Richard Kimani. Richard Kimani, are you there? All right, I see Regina Mwikali right there. Regina, do you want to go? What we're doing is we are either a Jill or a Jack, and that means we are a customer in this meeting today, and we're just saying what it is we like as customers and one thing that we really get frustrated about as customers.
Getting ready, I see there is a hand raised from Atwoli or Musafi Safi Atwoli. Maybe they would like to go. All right, Purity, it looks like that hand was raised either in error. We have the raise hand button with that particular customer. Well, you didn't choose me, but I'm very happy to go. I'm very happy to say what really annoys me and
Please
what makes me happy. Yeah, I'm really happy about, ever since COVID started, I've been shopping online. I've not been going to the supermarket. I've been happy to shop from my house. And after a while, the shopper seems to know me, because the other day I shopped and I didn't buy gum, and this shopper called me and said, Carol, you usually buy gum. Have you forgotten to order gum? And I had forgotten to order gum. How thrilled was I that this person knows me enough to tell me that I have forgotten something That is customer experience at another level. They didn't just do my shopping, picked up the phone and called me and said, you usually order gum, I'm not seeing it. So this person has known me, understood me. It's some shopper I don't know because it's an online app. We don't even know each other. And I thought, this is awesome. I'm not moving from this.
Carol, it seems like we may have lost you there. All right, it seems like we may have lost Carol for a moment there. Corazon, I thought I saw you raise your hand. Would you like to take a go? Corazon, are you there? All right, as Corazon is getting ready, perhaps we can hear from Sarah. My good friend Sarah Diambo, are you there?
Yes, Purity, I am there. My name is Jill, and what excites me, or what I have most enjoyed during this COVID season, is when, again, it has to do with online shopping. So I have been shopping groceries, foodstuffs, and everything from, again, somebody who I don't know. I just picked their contacts from one of the social media groups. So this particular lady usually supplies me with potatoes every 2 weeks. So she always goes out of her way to find out, so how are the potatoes this time around? Did you really enjoy them? So the mere fact that the experience does not stop with them having sold to you the product, but they want to find out whether or not you enjoy the product. And this one particular time, I did mention how the potatoes were soggy and all. So the next time she made her delivery, she did deliver 2 kilograms for absolutely no extra cost. So for me, that aspect of finding out whether or not the client has enjoyed your product or service is a plus for me. And what aggravates me is when a service provider seems not to have enough or any information, or maybe their staff seem not to have enough product knowledge. So you will be asking about something and they will be labor about giving you the response to what you're asking about, or take you on and on and on, or let me take you to this person, they're in a better place to respond, or I don't seem to have that information now, can I call you back later? So I wonder, then why are you here anyway? The fact that you don't know about your product, you're truly in the wrong place. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Jill. Sarah, we acknowledge that. Carol, we seem to have lost you there for a second. Do you want to just conclude what your frustration was?
Yes. My frustration was that after this excellent service where the shopper seemed to know me and know me so well, up until my gum preferences, what happened that frustrated me so much as a Jill was the last mile. Because the shopping service, the supermarket uses a rider service. So when the rider service actually brought the shopping to my house, the rider was extremely nasty. And the rider is quarreling me. Wewe mama, auchukui simu, kwa nini? Kwani unataka nishuke kwa bike yangu nilete shopping kwa nyumba yako? Huwezi toka kwa nyumba? I'm thinking, what is this? I am the customer. I am paying your salary. Whose shopping are you riding?
Because without empathy, I don't think we can even have businesses, you know? And I think I cannot emphasize that more, because when you have empathy for your customer, it means you're trying to understand their problems, and you're putting yourself in their shoes, and you're actually coming up with a solution that not only meets the spoken needs that they have, but even the ones you have discovered by putting yourself in their shoes. So you solve both their spoken and unspoken needs, which I think is very important now, especially in this age of convenience where everyone wants things now and without a hassle. I think empathy will help you even get there to a point of convenience, because you put yourself in your customer's shoes and you imagine what would be the easiest way for this customer to reach my services. What would be the easiest way for the customer to enjoy my services? And that way you're even able to create a better experience for your customers. So I think it's beautiful, and I love the job you're doing at ICX. I fully support you, being also a customer experience professional myself. And I can only say onwards. Thank you, Purity.
All right, great comments there, Juliet. I think we should have you on board as one of our speakers soon to speak to our entrepreneurs and the new enabled businesses. Just understand the role of customer empathy as you have so well articulated.
Oh, wow.
Purity,
I love that very much.
Yes, please come. Purity, there's a question on the chat from someone with a very interesting name, Omusafi Safi, who is asking, what has COVID taught us about customer experience? Purity?
Such a great question, Carol, and thank you to Omusafi Safi. I've really tried to get your name correct. Such a great name. Thank you for asking this question. What has COVID taught us about customer experience? It's taught us many things, Omusafi Safi, but the biggest thing that for me it's taught us is that we need to be agile. And agile means we need to be flexible, we need to be quick, and we need to be connected to our customers. When COVID-19 happened, customers all around the world responded in various ways. We had to stay home, we had less money to spend, some of us lost our jobs, and if as businesses we were not connected to our customers, then it would have been difficult for us to know that we needed to shift gears, for example, from calling to get debts from our customers, from calling to push sales. If we were connected with our customers, we would automatically know that it is now time to put down the sales calls, to put down the debt calls, and to simply call to check up on our customers. And so a big thing that COVID-19 has taught us is we need to be connected to our customers, and we must be flexible. Back to you, Carol.
Yeah, we are in the financial services sector. So when you say that, we feel a little bit antsy, because if we put down the calls and stopped collecting debt, it means that us as the internal customer would have to go home, would have to shut down, because our business thrives on us lending and our customers paying and all of us walking happily into the sunset as their businesses grow and as we grow. So how do we balance between the empathy and also the need to survive and be sustainable? How do we balance that?
Such a good question, Carol. Thank you so much for bringing that concern to the front. Let me clarify that I'm not saying that we should put down the sales calls, we should put down the debt calls indefinitely. All I am suggesting to us is that we need to first put a pause to the collection and to pushing sales, and just have a call with our customers to just check in with them. Let's do a dipstick and find out, have they lost their jobs? Are they struggling because now they have to adjust to working from home? Once we understand our customers' new position, then it really positions us much better to know how we will speak to them about a sale, or even how to collect it. If you can hear your customer automatically say that they've lost their job, there is your cue to start having a conversation about maybe restructuring that loan repayment, as opposed to being so gung-ho about the fact that they need to pay on the 5th of every month. It allows us the flexibility to really care for our customers, Carol.
Yeah, we totally pick that. There's a comment here about, as long as we've cultivated a relationship, it gets easier and easier to make that call. It gets easier and easier to collect, because then the customer knows that you're with them, not only to rough them up, but also walking with them and talking with them all through the highs and the lows. And so just like you said, we really need to keep constantly in touch with our customers. So members and guests on this great call, I promised you a hefty lunch. I promised you that you would leave here with your plate not your plate, your stomach. Your plate is no longer full. We have emptied the plates, and now our stomach, our hearts, our minds are full of customer experience excellence tips. We could go on and on, but our lunchtime is up. And I'd love to really, really thank you, Purity, for coming on to this call and for challenging us. We feel challenged. You've told us that money flows in the direction of value. So if money is not flowing, we need to ask ourselves, is it value that is not attracting that money to flow in its direction? That's a key question and a take home from what you have said. You've also told us to insulate ourselves, and that customer experience excellence is the insulator. It will insulate us through highs, lows, golds, bads, valleys, hills, and so on and so forth. And so we need to ask ourselves, how have we insulated ourselves with a thermal blanket of customer experience excellence? I have people on the inbox asking me if you will share this presentation with us. I don't have the authority to say yes or no. Would you be so kind as to share this presentation with us as you give us your parting shot and your last word? Purity?
Absolutely, Carol. Absolutely. And even as I get to my parting shot, what I just want to say is there are a lot of concerns we have as entrepreneurs. And there are a lot of concerns that COVID has brought about this year. The truth is, there's no greater time than now to really begin to live out the ethos of service excellence. If we do that, we will see increased benefit in terms of sales, in terms of retaining our clients, getting in new clients on board. Consider convenience, a convenient service. Consider empathy. Consider keeping in step with your customer through collecting and acting on feedback. If you're likable as a business, your customers will always want to do business with you. They may not have the money to always be in your business, but when they do, you will be top of mind and they will always support you. The goodwill will not go to waste. Thank you so much for having me. Back to you, Carol.
Indeed, the goodwill will not go to waste, and the goodwill we are cultivating with you as Purity and with ICX, who have so graciously allowed you to come onto this call and share the greatness that customer experience is able to deliver to us as businesses, as entrepreneurs. We urge everybody on the call to look for you at ICX and see what more value and tips like this that they can get. And we also urge all our guests in here, we are Springboard, we are the lending hand, we will hold your hand. Everybody needs money. Everybody needs finances. Please do not struggle. Please do not look far. Come to us. We are very customer friendly, as you can see, and we'll be able to partner with you to empower your dreams. You can follow us on all our pages and register for our weekly newsletter so that you may get tips about how to run with things. That all said, our 1 hour is up. We have had an excellent lunch. I feel like flying. It's a Friday. And Purity, you have filled us up. We feel really great. Allow me to say bye-bye to everybody on this call. We shall see you in a month's time. We do this every month. Let us know via email and our social media platforms what topics you would like to hear so that we can bring them to you to power up yourselves individually and power up your businesses and power up your lives. So thank you and God bless you all. We shall see you in a month from now at the end of November.